So hey everyone, in today's video we will learn the basic of SQL Server Management Studio. We will explore how to use it, how to create a database and a table both manually and through queries, and we will also run a few basic SQL commands to get comfortable with it. So let's get started. So first of all, open the SQL Server Management Studio. When it launches, you will see a window asking you to connect to server. So just click on connect and you are in. So now here on the left side we can see our object explorer. Here we can view all our databases, tables, etc. If we expand the databases section, we can see our system databases and any custom ones you have created. So let's create our own database. So first right click on the databases, click on new database, give it a name. Let's call it employee database and hit OK. Now you will see it appear on the databases list. So now let's create a table manually. So expand employee database, right click on tables, select new and then click on table. So we will see a grid where we can define our columns like that. So now then right click on the employee ID and select the primary key. Once done, click save and name your table employees. So here is the table that we created. So there is another way to create a table, which is through a SQL query. So just click on new query at the top and type this. So here I am creating a table named employees. It includes the column for employee ID, first name, last name, email and their salary. So here the employee ID is basically set as a primary key, and use the identity property means every time we add a new employee, the ID will automatically increases by 1. So this code is basically written in SQL language, which is not a programming language. It's a SQL query language which we use to interact with the databases. So here you can see that it is showing the error. It is because that we have already created a table named employees. So due to which we cannot create two tables with the same name. So it is showing the error. So we just change their name. So and yeah, you can see that error is removed. So just click on execute and you can see that commands completed successfully. It means our table is created. So and we can see our table that we created on the left side. So just refresh it and this is the table that we just created. So now let's right click on the table and select top 1000 rows. It will show us the table that we just created. As you can see right now, there is no data inside the table. So let's add some data using an SQL query. So now let's insert some data into our table. So here's the SQL query which is used to insert the data. These are the column names: first name, last name, email and salary, and this is the data that we are adding into those columns. So earlier we manually added the data through the table design option, but now we are doing the same thing using an SQL query. Now select this query and click on execute. It shows that one row affected, which means the data has been successfully added to one row in our table. Now just refresh the table and select the top 1000 rows. Here we can see the data that we have just added, and now it's stored in our employee table. So now let's see that how we can update the data in our table. So here is the SQL query used to update a record. In this query we are changing the salary of the employee with employee ID is equals to 1. So we are updating it from 5500 to 6000 using the update statement. Once we execute this query, it shows that one row affected, meaning the salary was successfully updated. Now if we refresh and view the table again, we can see the updated salary value. So now let's modify our existing table by adding a new column. For that we will use the alter table command. Here we are adding a new column named department to the employees table, and the data type is this, which means it can store a text up to 50 characters long. After running this query, if we open our table again, and we will see a new column named department added to it. So here I add a new row in our employee table. So now if we want to delete the entire row in which the employee ID is 1, we will use this command. After executing this query, it shows that one row affected, which means the record with employee ID is equals to 1 has been deleted. So now if we want to completely remove a table from our database, we will use this drop table command. This query will permanently delete the table and all the data stored in it. So when we execute this query, you can see that a table is deleted. But be careful while using this command, because once a table is dropped, the data cannot be recovered. So these are some of the most common SQL commands we will use while managing our database. And that's it. We have learned how to use SQL Server, create a database and tables manually or using queries, and run some basic SQL commands. Thank you.